Latrice Nettles, and I am an Israel Experience Scholar from the year 2011. And right now, I have been living in Israel for almost a year, studying at IDC Herzliya, or also known as the Interdisciplinary Center. Doing my master's in government, specializing in counterterrorism, homeland security. It's been an amazing experience, and through Eagle's Wings, I'm totally blessed to have the opportunity to be here. On another note, I am here today in Tel Aviv, and I'm able to visit with the Israel Experience program that's here this year. And so we went to Independence Hall, and I have here one of the students, Josh, and I would like to ask you, what was your experience, what was your thoughts about Independence Hall?
Well, I am Joshua Charles, and I'm an Israel Experience Scholar from 2013. And as far as Israel's Independence Hall, I was struck by it in many ways. I've gone through Israel's Declaration of Independence, and obviously I'm well familiar with the American Declaration of Independence, and I study the American founders. Purely in terms of what happened, the American founders, there wasn't some nice signing ceremony where they could all get together, have a nice solemn moment, sign the Declaration. They were all kind of scurrying in and out of Philadelphia. They were in a war situation, very similar with Israel, probably even more urgent and more on the spot that they needed to do. Linda Olmert from the center we just met, she was saying that as there was dancing and clapping in the streets, there was also the sound of bombs as the Arab armies were coming to attack them. From another perspective, many of the founders prior to the revolution were making the case in the media, which back then was just newspaper editorials, that the colonists had come to America almost like in Israel coming to a promised land. They were fleeing persecution, religious and civil, and they saw it as an opportunity to create not a utopian society, but a more ideal society based on the Bible and other Christian principles and whatnot. And so when the revolution came about, the colonies had already been governing themselves for 150 years, and most people aren't aware of that. And so when Parliament tried to extend its jurisdiction over the colonies were like, oh, you can't do that. And it just reminded me a lot of Israel, because Israel was in a similar, not the same, but similar situation where they've been bereft of their homeland, they've been persecuted, they've been in diaspora for almost 2 millennia, and then they come back, and in that declaration they make a similar case where they're like, this is our homeland, we have gone about the necessary process to obtain the land legally, we're here to have equal rights, equal protections for everyone who's in the land, just like America talked about, we hold these truths to be self-evident. And so there are many similar foundational principles and many similar just kind of ideas that went into the people getting into each respective land. So I was very struck by the similarities and that an even greater conviction that any freedom-loving person really needs to support the state of Israel.
So how would you take this experience that you just spoke about and take it back home? Like, how would you share this?
Well, I'm very involved in the political realm, and so there are obviously, I already have a meeting with my congresswoman set up right now.
Okay.
I've also got a lot of other contacts, and I just do a lot of research and writing, and I'm going to be doing some film projects and whatnot. There's opportunities to bring it up in there. And then there will also be some potential book writing projects.
Well, is there anything else you would like to share concerning your trip here in Israel?
Well, like I was saying when we were all talking earlier, I just think it's a thought-provoking question. Why is Israel free after 2,000 years of not being a nation when their neighbors who have been here for those 2,000 years have never been free? Where does that come from? You've got to have a worldview that backs that up. It's not random. And that's a question that the world needs to really consider.
All right. Well, thank you, Josh. I really appreciate your awesome insights, and I'm sure you have plenty more to share when you go back home to process.
Yes,
this trip
absolutely.
It's an intense trip, and something that's very memorable and will help set up the next stage for your future. So that's awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.